We are here at the Circle Line Tour. It's a 2.5-hour tour of the best sites in New York City.
For those of you just coming on, welcome aboard. Welcome to the Circle Line's Best of New York Cruise. Hey, just a couple more safety announcements, if I could. As far as the life jackets go, whether you look in front of you or behind you, you'll notice there are these silver boxes. We have these big metal containers really throughout the boat. So yeah, it's something for myself or the other crew members. And just in general, please be careful walking around the boat at times. These decks, they can get slick and slippery. I've been here since 1982. Now, we're going to get a closer look later on, but if you look just north of the Intrepid, you can see there's an airplane off the end of the pier. You can make out the tail end. There was that famous duel between Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr. And this is going back to 1804. But yeah, it took place right across the right there. We walked in here about 2 years ago. English designer, Thomas Heatherwick is the architect. But what you have here, there's 154 interconnecting flat hockey rinks, bowling alleys. So yeah, Pier 61 is straight across your left now. Right side, I'm going to get back over to New Jersey. For all you movie buffs on board in particular. Coming up on your right, you see there's a small church sitting in the middle of a park.
Oh, right there.
You can see, yeah, you can see the spire above the trees. It's the Church of St. Peter and Paul. But if you've ever seen, there's an old classic movie. The name of the movie is On the Waterfront, with Marlon Brando, Eva Marie Saint, Carl Malden. It's a great old movie, 1954, Best Picture of the Year. And part of that movie was filmed in that church and shot right here on this waterfront. This is where they created the grid system, where you have street numbers that go east and west, and your avenues take you north and south. But yeah, really from the village. You guys want to take a real quick look back over to your right side? First of all, this is Jersey City. We left Hoboken a few minutes ago. This is the harbor side financial center of Jersey City. If you look up ahead to your right side, you see there's a very big clock on the waterfront. You'll notice the Colgate's on it. The clock used to sit up top of the Colgate company here. That company relocated 30 years ago. And I don't know exactly how many freestanding single-face clocks there are in the world. Apparently that's the biggest one. Probably the only one. Measures over 50 feet in diameter. And one last thing. The statue was a gift from the people of France to the people of America, designed by a sculptor. His name was Frederick Auguste Bartholdi. And you know, he gave...
Statue of Liberty. Oh, babalik tayo.
Inscribed across the face of the tablet are reached July 4th, 1776, the Declaration of our Independence. 100th birthday. In 1986, it was a big 100-year birthday celebration. So, yeah, they gave her a new torch. And by the way, the old torch was made of glass. And the old torch was a registered lighthouse in this harbor. So this one here is actually covered with gold. 24 karat gold.
Okay.
They light it up at night. Got these new LED lights. You know, when that gold looks as though it shines day and night. So
Can you do another?
Liberty Island is open. You see some folks over there. You'll see the flags of NASDAQ. But for us, we're pulling away from the statue.
Bye, Statue of Liberty.
We are bound for the East River.
Hi, Josh.
We're going to be sailing under the Brooklyn Bridge.
Under the Brooklyn Bridge.
Now we're heading to
There's a lot of people on Staten Island Ferry. Hey, is this boat you're on today? We got about 100 people, 99 to be exact. Pre-pandemic, our capacity boat ride, you picked them up on your left side. That first terminal is the Staten Island Ferry. So, and by the way, right next to it is the Governor's Island Ferry. That's where you board it. And Governor's Island, I don't think I mentioned, but it reopens May 1st. Not open yet. Opens up on the 1st of May. In fact, Wall Street.
Brooklyn Heights.
And we're going to look up Wall Street, and hopefully we're going to get a little glimpse at Trinity Church, which is right at the end of Wall. It's right on Broadway and Wall.
Brooklyn
And,
Bridge.
you know, before we even get to Wall Street, there's a street opening up right now, straight across your left. The name of it is Old Slip. You look up the street, there's a dark building. Field up that street. In fact, it's opening
Wall
up
Street.
right now. It's a winding street, and you can see the spire of Trinity Church, which is a
Wall
devastating
Street.
storm here in the Northeast. And this is the South Street Seaport and Museum on your left side, which was basically wiped out.
And this is the Brooklyn
It
Bridge.
is back to life in a big way. That's the rebuilt Pier 17 we're passing on your left side. On top of that pier, they have a 1.5 acre park. They call it Greens. Concert series during coming up on your right side, one of the oldest carousels in the country.
Brooklyn.
Glass containment. That's Jane's Carousel. Almost 100 years old. Originally from Youngstown, Ohio. But this is his permanent home here in Brooklyn Bridge Park. And it will reopen on May 1st. The Manhattan Bridge. Dumbo stands for down under the Manhattan Bridge overpass. Getting very creative with the naming, but that's it. Down under the Manhattan Bridge overpass. Yeah, it's a Dumbo section. In just a second, over your left shoulder, you're going to be able to capture the Statue of Liberty, which is coming into view now, right underneath the two bridges. You got the Brooklyn, the Manhattan Bridge. It's kind of a faraway shot. You got the glistening of the sun over the East River. Interesting day here from East River. Gold leaf, but yeah, it's gold. From the front of this boat to your left, there's this 15-story brick building tucked away between the two glass towers. That's Bellevue Hospital, the oldest public hospital in the country. The original location was down here where it's now City Hall.
Empire State Building right there.
Pepsi building. One of them is kind of leaning over into the other. One too many cocktails. With that said, though, if you look a little higher than halfway up, there's a connecting skywalk adjoining the two. 3 levels. It's got a swimming pool and a ballroom. Look at these rooms. So if you look up and into your left, you're looking up at 42nd Street, you can see the beautiful Chrysler Building, which has that silver spire, Art Deco style. That's the Chrysler Building. It's on 42nd Street, Lexington.
United Nations.